Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about M.1.7 and M.2.5. So this video is going to be about converting units and talking about units that make sense. Okay, so here are some units and what they mean in the real world. So a millimeter is pretty small, the diameter of a pinhead. A centimeter is the average size of a fingernail. A meter is, it's about half of a doorway. Kilometer is 2/3 of a mile. A gram is the weight of a small paper clip. A kilogram is approximately the weight of a pineapple. And degrees Celsius, we have 0 is freezing, 10 is not, 20 is warm, and 30 is hot. So these are some, comparisons, some household comparisons of these different units. So which of the following metric units best represents the length of a paperclip? Meter, millimeter, liter, milliliter. Well, meter, we would measure things that are about the size of half of a doorway in meters. And a paperclip's nowhere near that, so that's out. Now, liters and milliliters, these are units of volume, so how much stuff is in something. So that's not even those two aren't even a measurement of length, so those we can omit. And so what's left is millimeters. So that's what we would measure a paperclip with in millimeters. Which of the following is best approximated by kilograms? Well, water, again, is volume, so that's grams is going to be weight, all right? So spilled water can't possibly be it. Our choices are between a rabbit, a piece of paper, and a tablet of ibuprofen. Well, a piece of paper and ibuprofen are pretty light, so these things could be measured in grams. So the only thing that comes close to the weight of a pineapple is the weight of a rabbit. So that's going to be our answer here. So some useful conversions to remember. I would put this stuff on an index card right before you're about to take the T's and just memorize these conversions. 1 yard is 3 feet, 1 feet is 12 inches, and so forth. We also have something called the metric system, and basically we're going to be given these prefixes as seen in the leftmost column, and they all mean something different. So what kilo means is 1,000. So if you say I have a kilogram, what I mean is I have 1,000 grams. If I have a kiloliter, that means I have 1,000 liters. If I have a kilometer, I have 1,000 meters, okay? So that's the idea here. Deca is 10, 1 decagram is 10 grams, 1 deciliter is 10 liters, and so forth and so forth. The main ones that we're going to be concerned with and that you'll see on the T's is kilo, centi, and milli. You might see the other ones. I would memorize them just in case, but these are going to be the prime 3 conversions that we're going to be working with here. So let's look at centi. So centi means 100th. So 1 centimeter is 100th of a meter. Okay? Say it out loud. Milli is 1,000th. So 1 milligram is 1,000th of a gram. And micro is very small. It's 1 millionth. Okay? So 1 microgram of a liter is 1 millionth of a liter. All right? So that's how those work. Let's do some examples. If a provider prescribes 500 milligrams of medicine 3 times a day, how many grams of medication should be given each day? Well, again, we can draw a picture. So for each day, we have 500 milligrams 3 times. So 500 milligrams, maybe that's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so the question is, all of this together, what is this in grams? That's our question. Well, first of all, we need to figure out how many milligrams this is in total. And so we just add them together to give us that this medication is 1,500 milligrams. Okay, so how do we go from milligrams to grams? Well, so there's a fancy word, it's called, or fancy words, dimensional analysis. But I'm going to try to break this down as much as I can here. The first thing we want to do, we want to go from this to grams, right? That's our goal here. Or maybe we'll just do it in G. That's our goal. So first of all, we need a conversion factor. So how many milligrams is in a gram? How many milligrams is in a gram? Well, we have this conversion right here. 1 milligram is a 1 over 1,000th of a gram. So we have 1 milligram is equal to 1,000th of a gram. Okay? So, how do I figure out how many grams this is? Well, I can multiply both sides by 1,000. And those cancel out. And I'm left with 1 gram is equal to 1,000 times 1 is 1,000, of course, milligrams. Okay? So this right here is going to be acting like so basically we're going to be multiplying 1,500 milligrams by something to be in grams. But the something isn't just a magical mathematical entity. It has to be something that's equivalent to 1. So let me rewrite this over here. I have 1,500 milligrams, and my goal is to use this right here to go from milligrams to grams. And how do I do it? Well, I'm going to multiply by 1 gram over 1,000 milligrams. Now let's stop and talk about why I just did this. Why am I allowed to do this? This is an important concept here, especially with you nursing folks. Why am I allowed to do this? Right? Well, look at this equality. Look at this equality. If I divide both sides by 1,000 milligrams, right, whatever I do to one side, I better do the other. On the left side, what do I get? I get 1. On the right side, I get 1 gram over 1,000 milligrams. So this thing is equivalent to 1. If I multiply something by 1, it's not changing the nature of that thing. It's just making it look different. Okay, so that's the idea. And why did I multiply it by this instead of the opposite? Why didn't I multiply by 1,000 milligrams over 1 gram? Well, the idea here is that these guys are going to divide each other out. Okay, so when I multiply straight across, I get 1,500 grams over 1,000. And I simply do this division to get 1.5 grams. So that is my answer here. All right, so here's another chart that you should memorize. This is just random conversions. 1 gallon is 3.8 liters. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. These are all conversions that can come in handy with the TEAS test. So let's go ahead and do some examples with this table. It says how many kilograms is in 14 pounds? Well, again, I'm starting with 14 pounds, and my goal is to get into kilograms, so I need to multiply by something with pounds on bottom so that these cross-cancel. And what's my equivalence with kilograms? Well, I have 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, so then it follows that we have 1 kilogram over 2.2 pounds, and hopefully you guys are seeing why this is 1. These are equal to each other, and so this thing is going to be 1. We're just changing the look of it. These pounds cross-cancel, divide each other out, multiply straight across, and I get 14 kilograms over 2.2. 14 divided by 2.2 is going to be, well, that's going to be about 6.4. So 6.4 kilograms is our answer here. All right, how many ounces is 250 grams? Well, I start with the number that I'm given, 250 grams, and I want to go into ounces. So I know I'm going to have to multiply by something with grams on the bottom, so those cancel out, and ounces on top. So what's my conversion from this table? Grams and ounces. Well, let's see. I see that 1 ounce is equal to 28.35 grams. So I put 1 ounce on top is to 28.35 grams. Multiplying straight across, these divide each other out, and I'm left with 250 ounces over 28.35. And let's go ahead and do this calculation. And I'm getting about 8.8 ounces. Let me just check my math on this real quick. Make sure I did that perfectly well. This was 2.5. That looks good. Okay. All right, very good. Okay, so those were some examples using that chart. Which of the following is approximately the number of feet in 3 meters? So I'm starting with 3 meters, and I want to go from meters to feet. Well, what needs to be on the bottom? Better be something in meters to cross it out. Well, what goes on top? Well, what's our conversion, meters and feet? Well, let's go back to our table. We have that 1 meter is 3.28 feet. That's our conversion. So 1 meter is equal to 3.28 feet. And now the multiplication, this is just multiplication here. These meters are going to cross divide each other out. Multiply straight across, I get 3.28 times 3, and that's 9.84 feet. Okay, so our correct answer choice here is D. Remy has 5 gallons of gas remaining in their tank when they stopped at a gas station in Canada. They added 35 liters of gas to fill the car. How much gas in liters does Remy have? Okay, so, well, we know that they have at least 35 liters, right? Because they start with 5. That's how much is in the tank, and then they top off with 35 liters. But the question is, what is 5 gallons in liters? We want to know what this is in liters. So here I go. I have 5 gallons times something over gallons with liters on top. I want to make sure that when I cross divide out those gallons, I'm left with liters. So what's my conversion here? Liters and gallons, liters and gallons. Well, it looks like this is our conversion. 1 gallon is 3.8 liters. So 1 gallon is 3.8 liters. You see that? Now, these cross divide each other out, multiply straight across, and I get 5 times 3.8. That's going to give us 19 liters. All right? So that's what 5 gallons is, okay? That's not our final answer. That's 5 gallons. We have 5 gallons on the tank, and we want to add to it the 35 liters that we just put in. So our total answer is going to be 19 plus 35, which is going to be 54 liters. That is our final answer there. Okay, a 2.5 gallon container is half full. Given that there are 16 cups in 1 gallon, which of the following is the number of cups of water that are in that container? Well, let's draw a picture. So here is our 2.5 gallon container. So this holds 2.5 gallons. But, you know, they tell us that it's only half full. So that's some information. So all we really have is this. And basically we want to take half of 2.5. Well, what's half of 2? Half of 2 is 1. What's half of a half? What's half of a half? That's a fourth, right? Half of a half, multiply. So this is 1.25, right? Because 1.25 plus 1.25 is 2.5. All right, so that's that. So this guy is going to be 1.25 gallon. We are trying to figure out what this is in cups. We know that we have 1.25 gallon, and our mission here is to multiply by something to give it to us in cups. Well, we're told the conversion here that 16 cups are in 1 gallon, and we want gallons to cancel, so we want to make sure that gallon is on bottom and the 16 cups is on top. So these go away. I can go about this a couple different ways, but the way I'm going to go about it is I'm going to change this to an improper fraction, 1.25, or you know what? How about this? Why don't we just change it to a decimal? I know that 1.25 is 1.25, right? 1 divided by 4 is 0.25, so 1.25 is 1.25. So this is 1.25, and I'm multiplying by 16. And what that's going to give me, cups, by the way, 1.25 times 16, that is going to give me 20 cups. So my answer choice here is C. Alright guys, I hope this short video was informative. Thank you for watching. See you guys next time.